Hey guys, Angela here, Coach Angela here. I wanted to talk to you today about the Romanian deadlift or RDL. I'm going to show you the dumbbell variation, but I'm also going to give you some tricks for how to get that movement down because it is a bit of a tricky one for some people. First thing I want to say about the RDL is that the purpose of this movement is to work your hamstrings and your glutes. Now, as a byproduct of the movement we are doing, you may also work a little bit of your lower back, your upper back, and your forearms might burn as you are loading that weight heavier and heavier. So, in RDL, again, hamstrings and glutes are the main movers here, but you may notice some other muscles kicking in to help out, and that is okay. What we don't want to feel is extreme back pain. We don't want to feel a ton of pain in our lower back. Might be slight burning from the muscles working when you start out of this move and you're new to it, but you shouldn't be having a lot of back pain with this. So, with the Romanian deadlift or RDL, the goal of this movement is to hinge at the hips. And what that means, there's been so many different ways to explain this, but imagine you have a band around your waist and it is pulling you backwards, or someone karate chops you in the hips, right at that crease in that fold. When you start that movement, you are breaking at the hips. The band is pulling you backwards. And you're gonna allow those hips to go back, till they can no longer go back. You're gonna feel that stretch in your hamstrings and your glutes, and then you're gonna stand up, okay? Chop at the hips, send those hips back, the booty goes back. Slight bend in the knees, you don't wanna squat down. You just wanna keep the bend and let the butt go back until you can no longer go down without feeling it in your back, right? You don't want to feel it ton in your back. That means we're going probably too low. Everyone's range of motion is going to be a bit different. If you are more flexible, there is a chance that you can go lower. However, if you are not strong in this movement and you are very flexible, you could injure yourself if you go too heavy too quickly. So, good rule of thumb, stopping not too far below your knee would be my recommendation. So, with the dumbbells, again, karate chop those hips back, send the weight down the length of your legs until you stop just below your knees and stand up. And we want to make sure when we go down, we're taking our time. Take your time, going down, stretch those hamstrings and the glutes, and then push through your feet, explosive stand up. And you're going to probably feel a little squeeze in your booty too. So a cool thing I've been seeing online to help with getting the form down is to utilize a foam roller. So if you're at the gym, or maybe you have this at home and you want to practice at home where no one can see you, take a foam roller, place that sucker on your legs, put your arms on that foam roller, and you're just going to let that foam roller roll down your legs and push your booty back. And that's kind of the same movement we want to be doing, okay? Stand up. Roll it down and push the booty back. Same movement. And I mean, same straight movement up and down. The roller helps to mimic you keeping that weight in the same place, because what a lot of people tend to do, I see this a lot in the gyms, is we have these different I would say errors that people are making. Now, some people, maybe very advanced trainers, may be doing some intentional movements. You may see me do this in some of the posts that I share. I intentionally challenge myself in weaker positions, but if you are newer to this, you are not experienced with RDLs, you don't really have any business doing that. You want to get the basics down. So, keeping the weight close to your body the entire movement, all the way down, and then stand up. A lot of people do this. They let the weight go really far in front of them like this. Like if there's a foam roller there, your hands are far out from your body a little bit. So, but without that foam roller, you want to make sure your hands are very close to your body. Otherwise, these arms going out means we are relying on our lower back to get the job done, and that is going to hurt. So we don't want to do that. Another thing we don't want to do, when we go down, we don't want to go down too far, because what happens after we reach that point where the booty doesn't go back any further? Our back. You see how our back starts to round, and that's working. Again, it's going to lead to back pain. Another thing a lot of people do. This is a neck breaker. A lot of people do this. They keep their eyes straight and they go down like this. And their neck cranks and then they go up. Don't do that. You're probably going to tweak your back, throw your back out doing that as well. Another thing I see people doing, instead of hinging at the hips, they just fall forward like this. That is called the Jefferson curl. We are not doing that. We are doing an RDL. Jefferson curl can actually hurt your back if you are not doing it properly. And some people really, again, have no business doing that movement. So specific people, maybe back injuries, you want to avoid that unless prescribed to you by, you know, physician, physical therapist, whatever. Another thing people do is squat their RDL, where the weight's going down and they just squat with it. That is not an RDL. That's essentially just a squat with you leaning forward. An RDL, again, is not bending down at the knees and coming up. No, it's shooting the hips back. Only the hips back. Slight knee bend. Now, you can bend the knee a little bit further and then do it, have like a deeper bend in your knee. That would be a little more glute focused. If you have a very straight knee, very, very slight bend, that's gonna be more hamstring focused. But again, we're getting into the weeds. We want you to get the basics down. So you're gonna feel it in your hamstrings, your glutes, and not hurt your back in the process. So keep it nice and tight, close to the body. Poke that booty out like you are closing a door behind you with your butt. Boop. Go down slow and stand. Just below the knee. Remember, we don't want to go way down here. Nope, we want to nice and slow, stop just below the knee, and stand up. Ta-da! This move is great because, like I said, it works your hamstrings, your glutes, a little bit of your back, posterior chain. Most of us, not strong in our posterior chain. We're actually very weak as society in that posterior chain because we have a lot of jobs where we sit or we have poor posture. And so doing movements that strengthens all of this helps to bring us back upright. And we aren't working that quite as much. A lot of people go in the gym, they work the push muscles like crazy. And they don't do enough of the pulling muscles or the glutes and the hamstrings. And that leads to muscle imbalances, aches, pains, back pain. Back pain is actually a really common one from lack of strength and engagement from this area. So RDLs, add them in. Again, so many different variations. You can do it with the 2 dumbbells. If you are brand spanking new and you don't have well, I would do 2 legs, but if you want to challenge yourself and you don't have great balance for the kickstand variation, or there's another way to call this, kickstand or B stance, where you put this leg back and all of the weight's coming from the front leg, like this. You can also do it on like a chair or a bench. Let me show you real quick. Get yourself a bench. I'm just going to show you the chair for right now. Prop your knee up on that bench or the chair, and this is going to be your working leg. I would hold the weight over here, and you're going to let that weight go down. Again, sticking the hips back, weight go down to just below the knee, and stand up. And a lot of the times people feel a lot more engagement when they practice this way if they are not quite feeling it in the typical stance. Let me show you from the side view. So we're gonna, again, hinge back as far as we can go. That's about it for me. And then stand up. And you're gonna feel it, if you do single leg, you'll really feel it in that hamstring and glute. This move, you guys, do not be afraid to challenge your weight. These are just 15 pounds. For me, super, super light. I'm wearing this and I'm not even using it. Super, super light for me. I can lift pretty heavy weight with RDLs. Do not be afraid to challenge yourself. Our legs are powerhouses. They're strong. You more than likely can use more weight than you even believe that you can. Just be cautious. Get the form down first. Once you get the form down, you are ready to roll for more weight. Yeah, hope that was helpful. If it was, let me know. And I'll be back with another exercise.